Hello, Tracy Secombe here, helping you to follow your soul's calling. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how to solve a problem by talking to your soul about it. It's really interesting because sometimes things weigh on our minds, and at the back of our mind, there's just this niggling problem, and we feel a little bit uneasy, but we're not exactly sure why it is that we don't feel completely clear. So if you've ever felt like this, the first step is to actually sit down, pull out your journal and ask yourself, what is not right? What question do I have for my soul? And then you ask yourself that question. So you can say, dear soul, you can say, dear higher self, or you can just use your name. For example, Tracy, what is the solution to this problem? And then describe the problem. And then you'll be able to actually ask an even clearer question because it will give you some clarity around what the issue is. The next step is to actually move from the left side of the brain to the right brain. And the best way to do this is to actually get in touch with your soul through one of the techniques that you use to connect to your soul. And it will depend on the day and it will depend on what you're feeling like, but really trust yourself with which way you want to go with this particular technique. So I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was thinking about something and I wasn't really sure what it was that I was worried about, but I knew from the way that my energy was feeling that something was niggling at me. And all I needed to be able to do was define it, and it can always be defined as a question. So ultimately, I became clear on the question, and it took a few steps for me to become clear. First of all, I went out to breakfast with my husband, who is an amazing sounding board and always open to listening to me talk. He often jokes and says, have I got all of my words out yet? I am a big talker, but he's wonderful because he will just sit and listen and he'll offer suggestions. And I found when I first started to talk to him about it, I wasn't sure on exactly what my question was. But we chatted about it and we bounced off ideas, and he offered suggestions. And he offered suggestions based on his experience and his knowledge base, which is very business oriented. And so as that came back to me, it clarified that that wasn't actually the direction that I was heading in, that I was clear about the change that I want to make in people's lives. So then I came home and I thought about getting to work on solving this problem by opening up my computer, having a look at a few things that I needed to do. And then I knew that instead what I really wanted to do was to completely forget about it and go and get on my paddleboard. We had driven past the sea on the way home and it was stunning, and I felt so drawn to getting out on the water. So I trusted this and I let go of the problem, and instead I donned my gear, grabbed my board and walked down to the sea. When I was out on that board, as I felt one with the ocean and just totally mesmerised by the beauty around me, the sky, just the joy on the faces of the other people who were in the water, everything about the environment, I felt completely peaceful. And I started to say out loud, I was out of earshot of the other people, I was out in the deep water, some affirmations around everything that I'm grateful for and some I am statements. So I was saying things like, I am clear on the solution to this problem. I am loving, I am giving, I am a spiritual teacher, and all of the things that just filled me up so that I felt overflowing with joy and love. And then the question became very clear. And I asked the question, how can I help other people find out what I have to share? And I just let it sit. And the answer came to me. It came flowing to me. But I wasn't attached to getting an answer straight away. I knew that all I needed to do was get clear on the question. And I knew from experience that sometimes the answer can show up later that day, the next day, a week later. But I totally let that go. But in this environment, the answers actually came to me rushing in. So I became very clear of what my message is to people. I became very clear that people want to know if what I have is for them, and then they actually want some guarantees about what benefits they can experience by going through my course. So what I want you to take away from this is that if you're feeling anything but blissful, chances are there is a question that you're not asking. And you have the resource of infinite wisdom at your fingertips, which means that you can ask a question anytime you want. So ask that question. And if you're not sure about what the question is, ask, what is the question that I need to be asking? And then let it go and connect to your soul through whatever technique works for you. It might be going into the garden. It might be going for a walk along the beach. It might be playing a game with one of your children. Something where you get so lost in the beauty of the moment that you connect to your soul. And this is the way the answer can start to appear to you, and it can appear suddenly or it can appear gradually over time. So please post any questions that you have about this in the group, and when we have our Q&A session, please ask about this or anything else that you want to ask about when we do our Q&A sessions. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.